Alright, so continuing our discussion on the circulatory system, let's look into what is lymph. Now, when the blood passes through the capillaries, over here you can see this, the blood passes through the capillaries, this network of capillaries. Some water along with some small water-soluble substances, they seep into the spaces between the cells. So from these capillaries, the water and some water-soluble molecules, they seep into the cells. They seep into the spaces in between the cells. And what happens is that the formed elements are left behind in the blood vessels. Now, this fluid that is present in between the cells, this is called the tissue fluid. So you can see it over here as well. It is called the tissue fluid. It has the same mineral distribution as that of plasma. So the tissue fluid has the same mineral as that of plasma. And the exchange of nutrients and other gases occurs through this tissue fluid between the blood and the cells. So let me write it down. Exchange of gases and nutrients. This occurs between the blood and the cells through this tissue fluid. And another thing is that the fluid again drains back into the major veins. So the fluid gets into the cell spaces and it is again drained back through the capillaries to the major veins. Right. And this is done by another network of tissues, another network of vessels, which are called the lymphatic vessels. You can see the green colored vessels. These are the lymphatic vessels. The fluid that is present inside the lymphatic vessels is called the lymph. And this lymph also carries, nutrients, hormones. The same thing that you would find in the blood. And another thing, that fats are absorbed. Fats are absorbed through the lymph in the lacteals present in the intestinal villi. So fats are absorbed through the lymph in the lacteals. This is, again done by the lymph. The fats are absorbed in the lacteals in the intestinal villi. So once more, the blood, when it is passing through the capillaries, the blood, when it is passing through the capillaries in the tissues, some water along with many other soluble molecules or soluble substances, water-soluble substances, move out into the spaces in between the cells. And we collectively refer to them as the tissue fluid, the fluid that is in between the cells. Now, the exchange of gases and nutrients, this occurs between the blood and the cells through this tissue fluid. And after the exchange has occurred, the tissue fluid is again moved back into the main veins. So this is done by another network of vessels, which is called the lymphatic vessels, and the fluid which is present inside the lymphatic vessels, that is called the lymph, which is again containing some of the same components as that of blood, which are nutrients and hormones. And another very important thing is that fats are absorbed in the lacteoles in the intestinal villi via this lymph vessels. So that was all about lymph, and slowly and gradually we are going to start with the actual circulatory system, and we're going to see what are the different kinds of circulatory system, and also we are going to take a deeper dive into the heart system and how it pumps blood and all that. So on to the next video.